Hello guys and girls, I hope you're all lovely jubbly, and look at this setting, look at this beautiful lake. The sky and the lake looks amazing, right? Not so good for carp fishing, this high pressure, but we'll see if we can show you a carp or two. First of all, 561 subscribers in making this video. Wow, I love you all, long time. I'm so grateful, thank you so much. And what I'm going to do is show my gratitude at the end of the month. I'm going to post a video, a competition, maybe like a £20 voucher of your choice. So what I'm going to do is post a video purely to you subscribers, so the people have chosen, because I don't want particularly to try and draw people in with it. So the post is going to be exclusively for you subscribers. I say that, if you haven't subscribed already, then if you want to watch videos, I don't want to force people into subscribing to watch these videos. I want you to watch them because you want to watch them. I'd much sooner have less people and people enjoying it, and maybe taking a tip or two away, you know, for people that are less experienced. You know, I'm not an expert in everything. I am still learning, especially when it comes to this big carp fishing larky. I don't think you're ever stopping learning, are you? Anyway, yeah, so to thank you all, there will be a name and a hat situation, and then I'll post a live video to tell you who's won. But let's get back to the session. So where are we? For people who don't know, we're at Linear Fisheries. Really looked forward to this session. Again, touching on the conditions, high pressure. This time in spring, the carp are up in the upper, the upper columns, aren't they? So bottom fishing is always going to be tricky. So a little bit of a different tactic, zig fishing. Me and my mate have never really done this before, and still now, I think it's a real weird concept of putting a little bit of foam in the middle of, the lake in the upper layers. Still feels a bit weird, but hey, when there's mayflies hatching, they are going to be feeding in them upper layers, right? But I'm quite old school, either bottom or surface. But we should be able to show you a fish or two. So a quick overview of people that don't know Linear Fisheries. Here's a map. So as you can see here, all the lakes. We're on Brasenose 1. We fished this last year. You've probably seen the video. If you haven't already, I'll put a link in the description. We had a few bangers out. I mean, my mate had a couple of PBs in the first hour and a half, which is absolutely nuts. This is the lake in the UK. If you want a day ticket, chance of smashing your PB, this is the lake to do it. And I don't want to give the game away, but a little later, you're going to see a little something, what I mean by that. And yeah, anyway, let's get into session. This video is going to be a little disjointed. If I'm honest, the first couple of days were bloody tricky. Were absolutely, and I didn't bother. I made a few little videos, and again, I don't want to give the game away, but there's a certain aspect ratio that I'm going to have to fiddle about with and make it the best I can for something that happens later on in the video. So apologies, it's not going to be the best video in the world, but hey, if it's something you enjoy watching, then great. But yeah, let's get into it, and I'll try and show you the sort of tactics of zig fishing first of all. So I felt it was time for another chuck on the middle rod. It's always good to have a chuck around now and again with zigs. It's not a bad thing leaving them, but if there's a few hours and fish are on you, then it's worth definitely chucking around. Unfortunately for me, most of the fish were to the right there for most of the session, but I'm not going to give the game away too much. So anyway, let's reel in. Long old chuck. Most of the swims here are a long old chuck. So it's good to have stuff like the finger stores you can see me wearing, and fish a shock leader as well. I suggest that some people don't. So as you can see there, got a 4-ounce lead, a long tail, and then a hook with a zig holder and a bit of foam. Simple as that if you've never tried zig fishing. A lot of people like to vary their coloration and their size. I've watched videos where they say go big, use a big bit of foam. So I'll show you more detail in a second when I stop doing whatever it is I'm doing there at the bivvy. But what a cracking day, look. Every day was like this, and we definitely caught a tan. As I mentioned before in the video, most of you carp anglers know this isn't the best of conditions, really, is it? We want a southwesterly, nice, moody weather system. So let's have a look. So we've got, I think it's a 3-ounce there I'm using, or 4, with the safety clip. And then a long old leader, this. So that's cruiser line. I was using fluorocarbon as well during the day. And I believe that was 8-9 foot. That's where we believe the fish to be, and then water warmer columns, because at night it was still freezing and a lot of frost. So let's see if I can wang this out. So always make sure, if you're not using an adjustable float, you know, your line's not going to be catching on anything that's nicely positioned. And then, as I mentioned, that's a long hoss on this. Obviously, as you do, feather the line down, feel the lead hit, and you're away. So another top tip with zig fishing, always vary. So at some point, because it's 13 foot where I was even trying 12 foot, and that's in the midday section, you know, the middle of the day, because all the fish, when that wasn't windy, one of the days, they were all sitting up. So I thought the best possible chance of them milling around the surface is to try as close to the surface without being on the top because of the bird life. You can surface fish here, but you need to feed the birds off. So yeah, it's always worth trying all throughout the day and the night. Just try and ascertain where you think the warmer water will be in the spring. And adjustable zig floats will really help with that. So have a look. If you've got any questions about zig fishing, this is very new to me, but I'll certainly answer it. Again, plenty of good creators out there where you can learn a tip or two. But definitely, you know, I've actually booked on to a club this year, so I've got a few waters to try, and zig fishing, whilst there's still high pressure like this, will definitely be my go-to tactic. Me and Wes, try the bottom here, nothing. Apparently some guy, Liverpool guy, really nice guy, did have one on the bottom when he came over and had a chat with me, but we tried it for a number of hours, you know, baited spots and nothing. So if you, like I said, if you're new to zig fishing, just do a little bit of research. If you're a bit like me, who was a bit sceptical about it until this session, then yeah, give it a good go. Try different colours, different depth variations, different styles. Try, you know, soaking your foam to a degree. Try adding goo, whatever you want to feel more comfortable. A lot of people baited over, but I didn't find that to work. I ended up hossing them out on my last night to see if that worked. So again, without giving the game away too much, you'll have to wait and see. So, but it wasn't the most productive of sessions for me to start with. So, day number 2. Quite a quiet night, although my mate's off the mark with a 29-pound mirror. Nice fish. Yeah, lovely fish that, Wes, mate. Well done, boyo. So, if you're a regular to my videos and the big carp fishing videos, if one of us is going to catch, it's going to be Wes. He's just got this magical touch about it. I don't know what else to say, really. He barely goes throughout the year, and he comes and just shows me up when it comes to big carp, but kudos to you, mate. But we got here at 9 o'clock yesterday, had a good look around. There's been a social on B1 and 2 with pretty much near enough every swim taken, so a lot of pressure, as it is with Linear Fisheries half the time, if you know it. But yeah, so the first day we got the rods out, set up about 12-1. I decided to fish 2 on the bottom and 1 zig. High pressure at the moment, sunny, going to be sunny the whole time we're here. We've got another 2 nights. And yeah, so my first bite came within about an hour and a half over the spot on a pineapple pop-up, backdrop, nothing there. And then my zig rod went off about an hour or 2 later. Backdrop just flew to the floor, and that's been it for me. Very quiet night. My mate Wes, he's had a 29. We're actually sitting there talking about getting into the bivvy soon. Fish showing everywhere over the lake, over this bowl section of the lake. And I said to my mate, a rod's got to go soon, it's just got to. And then his screamed off, lovely mirror. And the other fish that we know of is someone next to my mate who had a nice mid-30 mirror carp during the day. So what I've decided to do, well, I didn't decide to do this, but I left my alarm on and it went off at 4:45 to get me up from yesterday from travelling here. So I made the most of it. I stayed up, put 2 on zigs now, so 1 on 7 foot, 1 on 8 foot. Excuse me. 1 on 7 foot, 1 on 8 foot. Liquid with a few maggots as well attached, just to give it a bit more of a visual. Mate caught his on a red zig. I've only got black and yellow, funny enough, but yeah, so I've added them maggots just for a bit more of attraction.
really. And then I've got liquid zigs, so I put liquid in them as well. Isotonic and goo, pineapple goo, so smoke and the isotonic as well. So fingers crossed. We did see a couple of day bites from the people on socials here yesterday at around 10-11 when we were doing a good walk around deciding on where to go. So and obviously matey had a mid-30, so I decided to at range, not quite at my maximum, probably about 5 wraps short of my maximum, so a good central position nonetheless. So fingers crossed. I think today's going to be my day. Like I say, I had 2 chances yesterday, just didn't connect. A little bit frustrating, but still early days, still 2 nights left. Let's see what we can do. Weather conditions, not what I'd want it to be. It's a slight easterly wind now, though you can't see any sort of movement on the lake. And high pressure sunshine. So hopefully, you know, that screams zigs to me if they're up in the up, you know, if the fish are mooching around in the upper layers. Hopefully 1 or 2 come past my lines. So fingers crossed we can make something happen. Nonetheless, I think me and Wes are both going to go away with catching a tan at least, because yesterday we were like, we should have bought some shorts. It was rather warm. So, but spring's very much knocking at the door now, obviously. So good times ahead, hey? So yeah, let's see if the carp gods will shine on me today and I can winkle one out and get off the mark. Let's have it.
So unfortunately that day wasn't my day, nor was it my night either. Very quiet across the lake that night. We barely heard anything. So as the day went on, the day before we had to go home, so before the last night, I was thinking, what do I do tactics wise? I thought, screw it, I'm going to put one on the bottom on a nice bar that I found 10 wraps out, because it's a little bit shallower there, and I'm going to put 2 on zigs, and I'm going to absolutely effing hoss as far as I can. You know, I think that the middle section, when we're here boshing, they are sounding more middle. Even the other bank, they were going up and down quite often. And I thought, do you know what? That's what I've got to do. And then as night fell, me and my mate were sitting by my bivvy here. We usually sit at his rod, chatting away, and this happened.
There we go then, guys and girls. 24.5 pound of B1 mirror carp. Just when I thought nothing was going to happen, me and my mate just sitting there, and it screamed off. Beautiful fish, absolutely gorgeous fish. Let's get her back. So now I like it in here. Get in.
Obviously, I was absolutely over the moon. It saved the blank, and I thought I was going home again with another blank. So I put that middle rod back out. I said to my mate, let's have a cup of tea. And I couldn't believe it. The rod went again.
Here we have it then, guys and girls. The second fish at literally like 10-15 minutes after the first. And a new PB for me, 34.5. Look at that fish. Beautiful. The shoulders. Wow.
As you could probably imagine, I am absolutely buzzing with this. It's been a long time to catch my PB carp. 29.8 for a good number of years, and what a beauty. Now, if you ever go to Linear, there's a big possibility of getting one just like this. Nothing else really happened in the night, and just 2 fish, but I was over the moon. You'll notice here these swans, so we believe this one in the front's a young one. From what you'll see now, a big male, and the female was sitting on the nest as we drove in on Brasenose, and it spent the whole trip just chasing it, flying it around. Obviously wanted it to leave, and And as I sit here, you can hear me talking to the chap next door. You know, just having a chat. It's about 8 in the morning. And this went and happened.
Get in. Yeah, just fucking boss them as far as you can.
Well, I did.
Oh, okay.
My right hand one, that's exactly what I just done.
Middle rod again, still been middle rod.
Yeah.
Might be worth moving over for you last night, maybe.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
We're off at 11, so you got to see.
Did your mate had any?
Lost it.
Okay.
Well, that was a bit of a bugger. At least I had these drying out in this beautiful morning sunshine. Again, I'll leave it there. So thank you so much, as always, for stopping by, guys and girls. Really do appreciate the support and the love. All the all the interaction in my videos. Lots more coming up. Oh, there's a lot more going up, so keep your eyes tuned and make sure you're in a chance of that competition. Like I say, all subscribers, by the end of the month, I'll do a video. I'll do a little tombola and pick your number out with your name, so it could be all quite exciting, and you get a chance to win something towards your next session. But for now, tight lines on that next session you do, and I'll catch you soon. See ya.